So I'd love for you to just start out by sharing about accelerated evolution for someone, say, who's never heard of it. You know, what could you share about accelerated evolution and what we're working on and doing right now?
Well, the essence of accelerated evolution is that, many of us, we have all types of internal challenges, upsets, hurts, angers, fears, places where we're repressed, crap that's gone on in our life. All of us have an accumulated set of baggage within our system. It affects our finances. We've got baggage around money. We got baggage around relationships. We got baggage around our own personal value and our self-worth and what we're able to achieve in the world. And accelerated evolution is about going within and finding what is the baggage that's holding us back. And instead of just letting it sit and simmer and stink and stew inside of our being, we have very specific, articulated, guided verbal protocols, processes, which get to the root of those problems and transform them. So when you go into a session with an accelerated evolution guide like you are, an amazing guide, I might add, and a very profound one, is that we're able to, instead of spend days, weeks, months talking about the problems, using talk forms of therapy to get to some type of mental understanding, what we do is we go right into the heart of it like a warrior. We go right into the heart of those feelings that held us back. And then we have a very powerful way to transforming them. And when they transform, what happens is there's a freshness of mind. There's a feeling of I'm in the flow. I'm connected to the universe. There's a deep feeling of equanimity and balance and peace. And then what happens is your own wisdom, the sage, the wisdom within you comes to the surface, and your guide is able to help you then say, okay, how are you going to live this new state of awareness you're in? So in essence, accelerated evolution to me is a way to speed up the joy of your life, speed up attaining and achieving the goals that you want to achieve without taking days, weeks, months, and years in the crap that holds us back. So that's number one. Another very powerful aspect of accelerated evolution is to grow ourselves spiritually, to become more wise, to become more awakened, to become more woke is the new term, but not from someone else giving you understandings or teachings, not from just reading and getting more content and data, but through very powerful experiences of self-illumination, self-realization, self-actualization. That's where you find your own wisdom from your own dirt. You make fertilizer out of the shit inside of yourselves, okay? And that's another very powerful piece. And then the other aspect of accelerated evolution is we all have goals and dreams in our hearts, all of us, relationship goals, financial goals, travel goals, whatever goals and wishes we have. It removes the obstacles to achieving them. Many of the obstacles we have are all mindset, they're all belief. We're able to clear those out of the way so that those of you who are focused on achieving, crushing it, making goals and missions in life, rather than take out the long, slogged out way, full of problems, full of fights, full of tensions, you're able to achieve these things with far more ease, far more calmness, far more centeredness, and far more happiness. So that's the essence of it. And what I can tell you about it, it's simple, it's powerful, and it's easy. We all can have this guided experience. And personal growth doesn't have to be hard anymore. It used to be really hard. It doesn't have to be hard anymore. We can get where we want to in life with far less struggle.
And that's what I love about it. That's what when you exposed me to accelerated evolution, you invited me to the training. It was profound. It hit me very quickly that, man, I've been studying, for a decade on my own, all these types of practices, but the accelerated evolution methods and processes gave me the structured, simple practices to be able to work with people and take them to those states of consciousness, clear out those intense obstacles in a way that I never had before. It's just simple tools that are so effective. And that's what I really love about it.
I would, Akin, we both, my respect to you as a jiu-jitsu professor. I'm an intermediate jiu-jitsu, practitioner. And I liken it to like jiu-jitsu for the mind and soul. getting where you want, taking the path of least resistance, the least amount of moves to get to where you want. Instead of some fancy, big, long ass, it's like, how can we cut moves? How can we make that the least amount of moves and the most level of effectiveness? For me, accelerated evolution really is like jujitsu for consciousness.
Yeah. And you shared that with me a few years ago. Even I've been using that. It clicks with people too, because I'm talking to fighters and people in jiu-jitsu a lot. It's like jiu-jitsu for the mind and the emotions. And they're like, oh yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. And, my business is Embody the Practice. You infused the logo there. You called me Red Belt a while ago, and I took that name. I didn't even make the connection until like months after we made the new logo. And I was like, oh, but, signifying self-mastery.
Yes.
Right. And what that actually means, that can often be a heady concept that people goes into, but real self-mastery is really dropped in a humble, powerful, consistent way. And for me, Embody the Practice came to me because as I was growing into young adult, I saw jiu-jitsu professors and yoga teachers and even shamans and healers that were very amazing in their work, in their teaching, in their healing work, but then they'd step off the mats, or they'd step out of the temple, or they'd step out of the studio, and their lives are a shit show, and they treated people like crap, and they're very unconscious in their relationships and in all these different areas of their lives. And the more I've gotten to know you, the more respect I've developed for you, in that you embody the practice more than anyone I've ever met. And so you've been a teacher for me in that way, showing that next level of example of what it really means to embody the practice. So could you share more about, because we have in Accelerated Evolution, we talk about developing strength in all the different areas of life. Could you share more about that and what it really means and why it's important to embody strength in all these different areas of life?
Well, first of all, there's the warrior aspect within us all. You're immersed in it. Many of our friends are immersed in the warrior philosophy and mindset and practice. Martial arts is definitely a warrior practice. And so we're facing our edge, we're facing our fears, we're facing our smallness, our laziness, all those aspects. And we got to keep at it. The warrior's keeping at it, year after year, day after day, class after class, until, and there's no real ultimate arrival. You're on a train, you're continuously growing. That's the warrior. But the sage is the one with us that's holding the light. In the yin and yang philosophy of the Chinese philosophy of the circle, the yin yang, the warrior is that strong outward side, the sage is the quiet, silent power within. It's so valuable to cultivate the quiet, silent, noble power of integrity, love, consciousness, respect, presence. Very, 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 very powerful. Equanimity, meaning being able to stay balanced. And then congruence, meaning what I say is what I live. And it's not always easy to do that. There's parts of our lives, I'm sure all of us could always use up-leveling in our inner congruence. And so that's part of the sage, the wisdom within us. Where are we not congruent? Where are we living a lie? Where are we bullshitting ourselves, bullshitting others? Where are we putting limits on ourselves? Where are we harming others with our voice, our attitudes, our mindset? Where are we being toxic by stuff we haven't processed? And so we come across damaging and like a bull in a china shop to other people. The sage is worthy to cultivate this inner sense of yourself so that you become more of a whole person. Then the sage and the warrior together, it's an unstoppable combination. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. But we need to dial in. Where can we bring ourselves into more power? Well, I have what I've called the freedoms that I learned from one of my mentors, Kevin Nations. Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. I call them the freedoms because they all start with F. Faith means your connection to yourself, your self-worth. Connection to spirit, to God, to truth, to Mother Nature, to the bigger picture. Faith can be whatever it is, but it's having that connection to something that means more than just my everyday grind, connecting to the bigger picture, bigger meaning. When we foster faith in our life, we have something to live for beyond just accumulation, beyond just gaining wins and successes and the next sex, the next money, the next power. Faith is believing in the infinite within us and the infinite everywhere. Very valuable. Faith. Another area we can focus our powers in our family. And these faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun are individual, if you will, threads of a strong rope. If any one of them is weak and you put pressure on the rope can break. You have two of them that are weak, the rope is much easier to break. So our job as warriors and sages is to strengthen all of those. So we're embodying the practice as you share. So how do we bring it into life? Faith, family. Let's take a look at what are my relationships like with my loved ones? Is there flow and love, peace and joy? Or is there bumping rides? Is there power games? Is there repressed emotions, repressed communications? So for warrior sages, having a good family life, we're moving towards it so that we have love and flow is very valuable. Very valuable. Faith, family, finance. Finance is just more than earning. It's having wisdom with money. To know, I am worthy enough to earn. There's earning. There's also savings. Having healthy savings. Having healthy spending. We're spending less than we're making. And we're taking a part of that and we're investing properly in ourselves, in our bodies, in our health, in our families, in a better future. Faith, family, finance, fitness. This is second nature to us. We do martial arts and fitness. This is the vessel of your spirit. My goodness, take good care of it as the greatest gift God has given us. It's a vessel for our spirit. And then fun. Don't just delay in the future. One day I'll be happy. One day when I make this or I've done that, then I'll allow myself to have fun. No, inject your life with joy and fun daily. Don't make it so that it's, you're pushing it into the future. If you start with fun and making today fun and finding the fun in today, then everything gets enlivened. So these principles, these freedoms, faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun, it's a way to embody your practice, is to take a look at, hey, where am I doing with my faith today, with this week as an example, with my family, my finance, my fitness and fun. Hey, I'm doing really good with fitness. I'm doing really good with fun. Okay, maybe I need this week, I'll put a little bit more attention on my family. So there's no arrival. It's like jujitsu. There's no arrival. You got to up your game every week with these 4 Fs. Find the one that you're strong with, celebrate, pat yourself on the back with, acknowledge. The one that you could use some dialing up with, put some extra effort on that this week.
Beautiful. Thank you for that breakdown. Super valuable.